Action for Development, ACFORD, is a national women's rights organization founded on November 19, 1985. ACFORD is participating in a campaign titled 20 Reasons Why, 20 Voices in commemoration of 20 years of the Maputo Protocol. The campaign involves capturing the voices and opinion of academicians, the private sector, and civil society actors on the different articles of the protocol. Hopefully, this will trigger meaningful discussions on the protocol and its domestication as the conversations focus on raising wider awareness, continental media campaigns about the Maputo Protocol, and the status of its implementation in the country. With the current economic power, what contribution has the Maputo Protocol made to advancing women's economic empowerment, and what challenges are women facing in terms of economic and social welfare rights?
When you get support as a woman to economically also empower others, it brings comprehensive development. It also takes me back to the economics I studied in A level. It brings comprehensive development because it is participatory. It leads to household income. Children are in position to go to school if you're blessed to have some. And then also, even as a business, when you're buying products, let's say, in the market, I know you have been using our products, but you have never known who is behind. When you find our products on the market, you will not say immediately this is done by a woman. No. So for me, I take it in a sense that even if people sometimes look at it that a woman who has money is not easy to manage, but why do people have that bias? And then also from experience, I have served on several business boards. It brings domestic violence in some communities, as women try also to work to start businesses. It brings people look at it as competition, especially when it comes when the minds are not receptive to change. People look at it and brings marriage even breakup. I've even seen people, they hide. They have to hide so that they can survive. They can shield their businesses. You find someone is, instead of telling you that she's going to the bank to do a transaction, she tells you, I'm going to the hospital. But because she's fearing to open up that I'm going to maybe to do this transaction, juggling between work and motherhood. I am a mother of 4. There are those moments I would also have to come with babies to work at the factory. It is a big challenge. It's a big challenge because people cannot dedicate their time towards productivity when they know their child, their baby is not well catered for. Because life is not about working alone. There must be also that arm of people nurturing lives. We need breastfeeding corners in private, in government, in these spaces so that people feel comfortable that even when you're working, you can do the other things because they matter. So, and it is also high time that also companies, government spaces, civil space engagement, they prioritize these things because we cannot flourish without also co-creation. We can't do these things alone. We need public-private sector partnerships because some things need the policies, they need continuous advocacy. It is something that we can do much better when we are in a partnership. So we can go to the grassroots, like my ideas. We must grade our women. I know there are those who are very rural, there are those the urban, There are those who are urban hustlers. There are those who are under disguised employment. There are those who are underemployed. So you must segment your content. And when you're doing the press release, you must not think that one content is suitable for all those categories I've told you about. Remember, they are different in their setup. But for me, I can assure you, the quality, what women lack at the moment, the exchange. People must touch the money. If we are talking about, you can't liberate women when they cannot afford a piece of soap. You cannot liberate women when they cannot buy a sachet of salt.
As we use Article 13 to empower women in business, what recommendation can be given to the government?
One is review of the land law. In some spaces, in some cultures, women are not permitted to own property. And there is no way how you can do it economically when you don't own land. Like for me, who is in manufacturing, you can't keep renting if you're to do a sustainable business. Secondly, we need strategic private, public, and civil society partnerships where we exchange views, research findings of the efforts. For example, the Maputo protocol, the 13 protocol on economic and social welfare. We must always also meet either yearly or quarterly, and we exchange and we see how are we performing, what is not working, what is working. Then we also need the role of incubation, intentional women incubation support. These efforts have been there, and it is also high time that with ACFORD, government players, we make this information well known to people in the public. When you look at the things that make women business-led enterprises collapse, high cost of rent, and brand visibility. But when you are in an incubation setup, at getting some utilities at subsidized costs, it enables you to break even and it prevents you from the shocks of collapsing.
The Maputo Protocol is the most comprehensive treaty on the rights of women and girls in Africa, with 14 articles that identify with the promotion of women's and girls' rights. For over 2 decades now, the Solidarity for African Women's Rights, SOA, a coalition of over 80 civil society organizations working across 33 countries, has ensured that the rights of women in Africa are upheld as articulated by the protocol to the African Charter called